gonna try to do a recording over this.
Hey guys, I think you can hear me. So I'm gonna do a recording over this ride. It's a little different because I think this cam isn't great, the audio isn't great, the video isn't great. So hopefully you can kind of understand me a little bit. Today I think I'm gonna talk about kind of the speeds I go and why I go those speeds. And you'll see in a second. There's two kind of factors that I or two reasons why I go the speeds that I go. Um, and one of the reasons is the road conditions. So I'm taking a slightly different way that I usually go. Usually I make a left here and then go on the opposite side of this road that I'm about to take in the freeway because it's much smoother. Um, Here I'm going to take it, and this is the so when I came here, I was with the headwind. I had a tailwind, so I was going like 25 or so. And this is one of the reasons why I don't go that fast. As you can see, this road, at every 10 feet or so, there's some type of ridge or like crack in the road or divot or whatnot. It just makes for a really nasty ride, especially if you're going much faster. Um, so it's just uncomfortable to like constantly jounce up and down. And this is one of the reasons what kind of the things I talked about in my other video about my Twitter Model V is you really got your suspension will be so much better in this case. Even though I do have fat tires, the fat tires are at a high PSI, so they're not really absorbing as much of the shock as possible. And I guess one of the things I can do is I can get like a seat suspension post. Maybe I'll do that in the spring to kind of dampen the vibrations from this road. But even then, you'll still feel it in the handlebars. And also, it's like 60 degrees outside too. It's really cold. I mean, it's not that cold, but you're not working out, you're not pedaling, so it actually makes it cold. Um, but this is one of the reasons why I don't go fast on mountain bike. It's just the road conditions here in Wisconsin are not that great. And I suspect that this is true for other places. So I don't know. I don't know how people can tolerate all these constant bumps in the road. Obviously, when you're car, you get suspension, you don't really feel it as much. But here, I can feel it in my arms and obviously in my hands. Um, so it's not that good. It's not that great. So I'm only going at 20 at the moment, and I'm also going into a headwind as well. So I'm using a lot of energy um, to do this. But that being said, even the energy I do use is a fraction of what this bike can possibly do in terms of range. So I'm not really concerned at all about it. But okay, so the second reason, and um, this is I did a video about this in the past, is that above 23 miles per hour, you are starting to hit the where the wind resistant curve is getting pretty steep. So anything below 23 or so, you're not, there's some wind resistance, but it's not as bad as it seems. Um, and of course, this is just the wind. This is just the air that you're pushing. It's not the actual wind that's coming at you. And in this ride, there actually is. I'm actually going into a headwind. Um, so that's obviously that's a factor too. This is 23 miles per hour is in ideal conditions, i.e., no wind, you're in a vacuum or something like that, right? You're not vacuum. There's just no actual natural wind. Um, so now the road is getting a little bit better. So I'm going a little bit faster now, but I'm still in the headwind, so I'm kind of minding my speed a little bit. Um, Ideally, what I would be doing now, if I was not recording a video, I'll actually go into more of an aggressive tuck to kind of pair the wind a little bit. So wind resistant is V squared, but it's also X squared, which is for frontal area. So the less frontal area that you have, the, obviously better than it is. But so I did a real there's a previous, you can also look this up as well, but there's a previous video about this, and it really is important if you want to kind of be optimal, and that's kind of how EVs are at the moment. They're not like hot rods where you're burning like or supercars where you burn like 10 miles per gallon, but yeah, 10 miles per gallon or something like that. EVs are supposed to be extremely efficient and also aero. You take a look at all the Teslas and all the EVs. They're all designed to be aero and to maximize aero gains and whatnot. So in this case, I'm going like 20. This is really nice road here, so I'm going like faster. Um, kind of just want to maximize aero gains, and that is anything above 23. You're really starting to hit the aero curve a lot. Anything below it is pretty much, there's aero too, but a more major component is just rolling resistance, especially at the lower speeds. Of course, you could go as slow as possible, 10 miles per hour, and you'll get optimal range and whatnot. But I feel like 20, 22, 23, it's kind of like a good balance between not really feeling that horrible aero drag or wind resistance, and yet still having enough speed to get to where you want to go at a reasonable time. And of course, if you need to get somewhere, you really see here I'm talking to you because it's kind of, it's definitely is windy and more uphill too. But if you need to get you need to get somewhere, you can just go fast, just go, but if you're just, kind of trying to conserve energy, you're not really concerned about time. 20 to 23 is kind of a good speed. Um, and here I'm forgetting how to pedal because it goes back to stuff I've been moving. And yeah, hopefully once I get the PDS, this pedaling actually kind of makes sense instead of me just fake pedaling. Um, but yeah, so that's really the main reasons why I go. I guess it's not as important here with this e-bike since it has such a large battery. But if you have a more conservative regular battery, you can go like almost 50% more at 20 miles per hour than you can go at 30 miles per hour. And especially on more regular batteries. For this one, I think it's like the range is 100 theoretical. Okay, I haven't done this yet. The range is theoretical 100 miles per hour. 100 miles, that's 30 miles per hour. But if I go at 20 miles per hour, I can get like 150, 160 miles. So that's a 50% increase. Obviously, you spend more time, but your range is much, much more. So obviously it's more efficient. Um, Also, when you get to a higher speeds, and this is obviously part of the uses, you're just using a lot more power to not really go that much faster. Especially over 30, like 35, you're using a lot of power just to get that extra 1 mile per hour or 2 miles per hour. And to me, it's not really that worth it. This bike itself is not obviously not really designed to be aero. I do need to have like a front shield. I need to swap out the tires. It has knobby tires at the moment. They're not that knobby, but they're knobby enough where it does reduce my rolling resistance or increases my rolling resistance. I should get street tires, and yeah, I should actually be tucking in when I can. But obviously that's extremely suspicious doing that. Trying to get nervous but um, yeah. But the other thing about the thing about the knobby tires versus a street or like a race street tire is I believe the knobs, they kind of elevate it. There's a like puncture protection element to it versus just like a flat a race tire, which is just flat without the knobs. I feel like it actually the knobs provide some type of comfort protection, which I value a little bit more than the knobby tires or than the street tires. I think with the street tires, I'll definitely get at least 2 miles per hour to 3 miles per hour more speed, especially at the 20 miles per hour in terms of power than I do now. And if I were to get the street tires, I would need to have a liner inside, which I don't have at the moment. Um, at least a liner, if not like a glue tube or like a slime tube. Yeah, so that's kind of about it. And here I'm going down this hill, obviously the hill. I gotta be a little mindful because this is a big ass bike. It only has small disc brakes. And while the brakes are infinitely better than my previous bike rim brakes, it still does take a little bit time to slow down from going really fast. But yeah, here I get when I get past, there's a big hill coming up, and going down this hill, I get an advantageous light where I don't have to slow down, and I just try to, get a lot more momentum to go down this big hill and go up the big hill afterwards. So here, you can see this light, and there's a light above, and there's some cars already. I'm switching gears now, hoping that it will change. And obviously it does change, but I know this light I pass it into the day. So now it's changed, and now I can just kind of gas it as I want, and get a little speed down the hill, because we can big hill afterwards. Get into third gear. Yeah, so it's not as fast as my other bike, obviously, and it also has half state of charge. And the reason why is it's just much better for the batteries. And I'll talk about, yeah, I actually like this one a little bit better than I kind of over my ride. But I'll talk about why I'm always at 50% state of charge. Not really at full charge all the time, even though I should be, but in terms for power speed, but I don't, so that's the
Alright, that's it, guys.